We don't mean any harm!
I know why you're scared. It took us 4 years fighting that virus, but we are survivors.
It was a virus created by scientists in a lab. You can't blame the apes.
Who the hell else am I gonna blame?
We need to give him a chance.
Welcome, they're animals. Please.
I've seen things. I've seen the way they are. They want what we want, to survive.
Caesar, home. This is your home. Your home.
Are you aware they are going to turn on you?
They don't want a war. No! Don't shoot! Caesar, you have to go.
Go. Where? Apes! Together! Strong!
War, it's not what you want. There must be another way.
War has already begun.
So before I get to the apes, let me address the elephant in the room, and that's that I'm in a different room. You are looking at the New York offices of Frederator Studios, which is the company behind Adventure Time on Cartoon Network, which some of you might be familiar with. I have moved to these offices this week. I think this is a very exciting change. It's going to result in some very exciting changes for Beyond the Trailer, some of which you'll see right away, like me shooting in a different room, and also access to that X-Men junket, and some changes you'll be seeing further down the line over the next month or so. But I think this is very exciting, and I can't wait, but please bear with me during this transitional period. Also, morning movie news will not air today because there's just too much other content to get up with that X-Men junket. I have to catch up on trailer reviews. I've got 2 movie reviews to come out, but morning movie news will return on Monday with a very interesting announcement about the 2000th episode, which is coming up. All right, so as for this new Dawn of the Planet of the Apes trailer, very interesting. I do like it. I was a big fan of the first Apes movie, so I have very strong expectations and hopes for this sequel. Now, there have been a lot of creative changes. Cast, the director is different, but the screenwriters are the same, and I really strongly believe in this screenwriting duo. I hope the special effects aren't entirely done. I think Caesar looks very good, but some of the other apes look a little bit CGI. CGI-y, I guess, for the lack of a better term. But I think it's very interesting to see them apply the rules of the genre of like almost cowboys versus Indians, or Indians versus settlers almost, is perhaps a better parallel. And I guess that's very smart. I think, this is a very unique kind of film, and to root it in a very well-known genre, so the twist is that you're dealing with, instead of Indians, you're dealing with apes, could really make for some interesting content. I also see a little bit of Avatar here with the language barrier, but also that big tree. That tree, for some reason, really struck my interest. Not only because it had a fantastic position at the edge of that cliff. We're seeing a lot of trees at the edge of cliffs these days. There's a big one in Game of Thrones that we've been teased a lot with Bran. But also when they stuck all those sticks in it. It's like ape art, ape art meets ape architecture. I was really impressed. I was like, did you guys build that? That's really good. You haven't mastered language skills yet, but you're really good at expressing yourselves in other ways. So I think the attention to detail and showing like not only a social society, but a structure, like society with a culture and output, I think is very fascinating to watch. And so I'm very intrigued with how this is going to go. I see a few like stereotypical pitfalls that I'm a little worried about, like Gary Oldman's character, the typical like, we can't trust them, let's shoot them. It's like, man, this takes place like in modern day, so I assume Gary Oldman's watched all these movies about Indians versus settlers, and so you think he'd be like, well, that never seems to work, so why don't we try something else? But this is a big opportunity for Jason Clarke for this lead role. I'm very curious to see what it's like. You see a little Gorillas in the Mist action going going on here too. Great movie, by the way. If you haven't seen that, you should definitely check it out. And I've become more of a Keri Russell fan as I've gotten more into The Americans, so I'm excited to see her here as well. We're not seeing very much of the other Apes outside of Serkis's performance, but we know that there's some, actors. Judy Greer is, for instance, one of them. I forget the actor's name, but the one who just signed on to play Dr. Doom is also going to Toby something. He's going to be playing one of the apes. So there will be other ape characters. Perhaps the rendering is taking a long time, and they're just not quite ready, at least to debut in the trailer. But I think Caesar continues to be a fascinating character, and showing him with the weapons, that quick shot of him contemplating that, I think, and also with the video, the camcorder playing it back and seeing James Franco. I see very inventive touches here. So it'll be interesting to see how this movie can deal with a genre that audiences are very familiar with, and if it's enough just to replace the Indians with apes. Is that enough, or are they going to do some more? I think it's not enough. I hope they plus it in other ways. But as I said, we're seeing elements of that. So what do you think? What do you see the parallels that I see to this, Indians versus settlers genre? Do you think that's a good choice? And is this the direction you want to see this franchise go in? It's a very different direction. Whereas, Rise of the Planet of the Apes was more of a very scientific-based film. It had it was more in that genre. So they've really switched. And it'll be interesting to see how you have to really be just a plain straight ape fan. But I hope we have some powerful moments here. I'll never forget when Caesar first spoke in the first movie. That was something that I just think was unforgettable. And we'll see if they can continue and give him those kind of moments. But I'm very excited. This is easily one of my most anticipated movies of the summer. And I only want good things for it. So we'll see. And I'm curious to see how you guys feel about the trailer. Please leave your thoughts down below. And you can check out some more episodes right now.